In London, the Muslim Impact Forum has launched with a bold call to action. Supported by former Scottish First Minister Humza Yousaf, the initiative seeks to strengthen the role of British Muslims in politics and confront the rise of far-right movements. Professor Javed Khan emphasized the youth and economic strength of the community, warning that Britain is at a tipping point. Leaders urged Muslims to mobilize, organize, and use their influence to shape a stronger future for the next generation.
Look, the Muslim Impact Forum is needed now more than ever before. I think it's fair to say that the challenges not just the Muslim community faces, but humanity faces, are very grave indeed. Very difficult times that we live in. You can see in the United Kingdom alone the rise of the far right, driven by anti-Muslim hatred. And that's not just common to the United Kingdom, it's common to Europe, and of course we can see also in the United States as well. And then in the East, we see some major challenges, thinking about particularly the genocide in Gaza, but many challenges across the world. And yet, the Muslim community is huge in number, very wealthy, very generous. We have amongst our numbers entrepreneurs, business owners, NGOs, charities, philanthropists, social activists, politicians, media, journalists, and so much more. And the purpose of the Muslim Impact Forum is how do we bring these people, how do we bring that talent together to say, here's the challenges we face and humanity faces. If we can strategically align our skills, our talent, then actually we can solve these problems to the betterment of the whole of humanity. And that's why I'm delighted to be a supporter, to be working with the Muslim Impact Forum. Look, I used to attend conferences. I was in government for 12 years in different roles. Sajjad, you missed out 2 or 3 of those roles in your introduction. But I spent 12 years in government, and I attended conferences very regularly. And some of them were talking shops. You went there, you didn't achieve much. But the Muslim Impact Forum this year in April was the very opposite. It was a forum where people took action. And that's why I'm very pleased to be able to support it. I don't know if you have it, because you were there obviously at the forum as well.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of being there last April, and the forum, for me, my first experience, was quite a rare and unique opportunity to see what was over 250 people from across the world come together, all with one purpose, to see what we could do collectively to try and improve the lives of Muslims across the world, but not just for the Muslims, because as Muslims we believe what's good for Muslims is actually good for everyone.
Yeah.
That's the prophetic tradition that we believe in, and that's our mission. And what I'd add to that, I think with that brilliant introduction from Brother Humza, that I spent 40 years in my career working just in the UK, in the public sector throughout that time, and like many others, I've seen lots of changes in that period, those 4 decades. And I would say hand on heart now that we are at a tipping point in this country, and it's reflected in other countries as well, where we either try and do something different, to try and self-organize Muslims, to represent ourselves better, to use our resources better, and to influence the countries that we live in better than we have done already. Brother Humza is a relatively rare and unique political talent. Actually, we need many more people like him at the top of government, in every government, in this country, across the 4 nations, and in other governments, that can influence, sit at the top table and make a difference on behalf of the Muslims. In this country, there are 4 million Muslims, and that number is growing fast. But of those 4 million, 50% are under the age of 25. 1/3 are actually under the age of 15. So it's a very, very young community. Those young British Muslims, what kind of future are they facing? The British Impact Forum, I hope, if it does nothing else, it gives them hope as well, that we can come together, we can use our collective energy, our intellect, our resources, and our influence to try and create a country and other countries that will create a future for them, that we can be proud that they are British, they are European, they are world citizens. Our grandchildren demand that we do something different now, I think.
But in the present environment, when the far right is rising, especially you are on the target of them, and our community as well. Actually, what to do? What is the forum do?
Yeah. Well, look, first of all, it brings us together because far too many times there's some wonderful projects that are being done, wonderful work being done on the media, creativity. Our people are very creative on digital media as well as on traditional media. But actually, who is bringing us together to say strategically we have to think not just about the next month or the next 6 months, but the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, a responsibility to our future generations, very young generation population, as by Javed has said just a moment ago. So the point of the Muslim Impact Forum is not about bringing thousands and thousands of people, but actually strategically bringing together the people that we think are leaders in their field to tackle some of the problems humanity faces. And by the way, the rise of the far right is not just a problem for Muslims. It's a problem for not just minorities. But I'm telling you now, when the far right seizes power, it's a threat to democracy itself. And we can see that in other countries where the far right has been in ascendancy. So exactly as was said a moment ago, this is not just about how we help Muslims or the Muslim Impact Forum, it's in the name. Actually, it's about how we serve humanity to tackle some of these challenges and problems.